And welcome once again to Investor's Edge. I'm Gary Kaltbaum, your host. Thanks for being with us today. Glad you're here, ladies and gentlemen. Happy that you are listening. It is June 4th, 2025. As I sit here watching Novak Djokovic in the the quarterfinals of the French Open. I can do two things at once: do a radio show and watch some tennis. Anyway, hope you're having a good day. As always, lots to talk about. I just want to start by saying thank you, Elon, and we'll get to that part later because I cannot begin to tell you how important it is as we move forward. And when we say serious talk, we mean it. We will do the markets, the economy, your job, your industry, debt, deficits, corruptions, scams, and shams. And you name it, we shall cover it. Including they fired the coach of the Knicks. What is the matter with that organization? And if you do not get this radio show in your city, we'll post it at GaryK.com. We'll also post it on our Twitter feed, which is now X. And if you don't follow us on X, you should. And if you'd like to email us, just be nice, because we'll be nice and respectful back. We go back and forth with people that completely disagree with me. Completely. But we do it nicely. Nothing wrong with that. Of course, I convert many a socialist to capitalism throughout the years, because I always ask the question, how much of your life do you want controlled? And they say, what do you mean? And I say, well, that's what socialism is, more control over your life. Through rules, regulations, fees, fines, mandates, taxes. Do you not know that? But that's for another day. Anyway, where do we want to go? As we said to you recently, we had an epiphany about doing the markets first every day on this show. We got enough emails from people that we do call ourselves Investor's Edge, and we'll do markets first and foremost. And then we'll get into the rest of the stuff that matters, because what we do here is markets, economy, politics. We've never had to do politics until, I don't know, it was about 2007 when we realized how criminal they are in DC, and $37 trillion later. So we'll do a little bit of that later. So markets. First thing I want to say to you, the 10-year yield was down a stick today. What's a stick? Almost a point. What's a point? Well, it closed yesterday at 4.46. It closed today at 4.365, down 0.95. And why do we bring up the 10-year? Because that is your mortgages, that is your loans. That is the cost of capital. I know the president is asking Jay Powell to lower rates. The president needs to speak to me, because Jay Powell could lower rates, but if the 10-year yield goes higher, it's meaningless. And just remember, when Jay Powell went from 5.25 down to 4.25 on his rate, interest rates that matter most went up. So President Trump, give me a call. I'll explain it to you. But I want to let you know it's good news when we see yields go down, unless it's forecasting, telegraphing a bad recession, which we don't think we have at this juncture. How do we know that? The market would be 5,000 to maybe 10,000 points lower. Simple as that. So we start with that. Next thing I want to mention to you. I know what you see every day. People get on the tube and talk about the markets, and I'm bullish, I'm bearish, I'm bearish, I'm bullish. Our target for the end of the year is this, that, and the other thing. We believe and know there's 200 sectors that we follow, subsectors, countries, commodities, you name it. And we've never seen a market where everything was bullish. In fact, very often, we see big bear markets while the market's bullish. We've also seen big bull markets while the market's bearish in certain areas. That's what we do for you guys here. Versus, oh, we're bullish, we're bearish, we're bullish, our target is this, target's that. So let's go a little one by one, and the thing that sticks out most right now is one of the areas we had told you to avoid for, I'm going to say, about 10 months, and that was the semiconductors. And as you know, the semiconductors go into just about everything. So they do matter. And just so you know, a big part of the semiconductor thingamabob right now is this artificial intelligence thing. And just so you know, in January, you had a crash in the semiconductor stocks. You went from 5,500, by the way, down to under 3,400, which included the two-day Donald Trump crash. But even before that was that AI issue, the DeepSeek. So they crumbled all that down. But then what ended up happening, Donald Trump, the president, did the taco and came off of the bad tariffs because he was crashing the markets, not just the stock market, but the dollar, which is still on the weak side, and the bond market was getting in trouble. So they had to do that immediately, and good. Market bottom, and since then the semiconductors have done nothing more but improve. There's only one stock at new yearly highs, and that's Broadcom, and they report after the close tomorrow. Nvidia reported last week, and weirdly enough, gapped up, reversed the gap, most of it, followed through to the downside on Friday, and 3 days up, which leaves it range-bound going back a year. It's up $1 from a year ago. It's still down about $12 from November and January, but all the other semiconductor stocks, they are not in uptrends, but they are no longer in downtrends. They are no longer in bearish phases in that they most all have broken back above the 50-day moving average after being absolutely trashed. Does it mean they're going to keep going? No. But another Dow was down 91 today. The semiconductors were up 68 points. That's what we mean. So that's something to watch closely. Good day today with the semis. The Philadelphia Semiconductor Index broke above the last 3 weeks. Little stair step. Has to stick. Keep that in mind. Semiconductors are very, 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 very important. Next, other tech. Facebook was up $21 today. It's called Meta. Spotify up 30. Netflix up 21. Apple up 17. That CoreWave up another 11. So there's still, with the Dow down 91, money was flowing into a lot of I take that back, into a select few names today that were pretty darn strong. And the other part of the equation in technology, as I see it right now, not seeing much breaking down. CrowdStrike was down $29 today on their earnings. But I got news for you. It didn't break down. It was extended. It got down to its moving average and bounced. In fact, CrowdStrike hit 445 today, closed at 460. If you start hearing me say, this name is breaking down, that name is breaking down, this name is breaking down, that name is breaking down, we'll let you know. But so far, hanging in there. And with the Dow down 91, NASDAQ up 61, NASDAQ 100 up 59. We'll let you know if it changes. Up next, more on the markets. And then we're going to thank Elon Musk. And you know why. I'm Gary. This is the one and only Investor's Edge. And welcome once again to Investor's Edge. Other than that, it was somewhat nondescript today. I can tell you that oils, remember what we said yesterday? Look like they were trying. We've told you to avoid them for a year now. And they had a good day yesterday. They had a bad day today. So nothing to think about. Maybe a change of complexion in the insurance stocks. A lot of them topping out in here. I'd be wary right now. Rough day for the big banks. We're always watching that. And financials. Just remember, financials used to be the end-all be-all for us. Semiconductors second. Then financials went by the wayside when all the crooks did what they did leading into 2008, where semiconductors are more important. There's a very few times where markets get in trouble when those two areas are in good shape. Keep that in mind. Advanced declines, okay today. New highs picked up a little bit. I keep getting asked about the small and the mid caps, and we keep telling them, why would you buy the weaker of? If the large caps are much stronger, why even think about them? I gather one day they're going to have their day in the sun, but I must tell you, I tried the small caps 3 times last year, stopped out 3 times. Or was it 2? Whatever, 2 or 3. They teased a couple of times. As long, listen carefully, as the big indices are trading above the now little bit ascending 50-day moving average, we're good. And when I say we're good, does not mean we're off to the races, does not mean we're sizzling. But we're good. And you absolutely have to know, and this is the most important part of the equation, if not for the changing of the mind on tariffs, we'd be in hell still. You need to know that. Because if he changed his mind on it, woe is us. And we'll have to keep saying that moving forward. We're getting such mixed messages on it. They're happy, they say, because last month they took in $20 billion in tariff money. Pundits are praising that. That comes out of our businesses. It's just a corporate tax. And of course, a tax on you if the businesses pass it off on you. Why do you think the president was attacking Walmart? He had to admit he was lying about who pays for the tariffs. He kept telling us China pays for it. No, us. So in his anger, let us know, yeah, well, he told us a whopper. So I just want to make sure our stance is if he undoes the pause, goes back to 145% on China, all hell's going to break loose again. The hope is, markets are about fear and greed. that the fear of crashes were stuck in his body because no president wants market crashes and economic crashes under their watch, especially when they cause it. So how to make sure you understand that. Otherwise, you have a recovery from the crash. It is V-shaped, especially the NASDAQ and the NASDAQ 100, which is higher beta, meaning it trades a lot, moves a lot faster and a lot farther both ways. You're now in the midst of big time resistance going back when the market was topping December, January, and February. If we can get through it, damn, would that be good? For me to come on this show and say, we just broke the highs of December, January, and February, that'd be fantastic. That would be fantastic. I'm going to guess, got a little more work to do on that. That'll be my guess. Maybe some backing and filling up here. And then we'll get to earnings season, which will be third week of July. Now, I want to make sure you know that we're being told now that GDP for this quarter is going to be 3 or 4%. Just let you know the reason why is because we were down last quarter. The tariff import-export thing, because of the imports last quarter, GDP down because of the imports. So I would suggest if they come out with a 4, it's really a 2. And then we'll take it from there as we move forward. I'm still speaking to businesses that have absolutely no clue what's happening on the tariff front, and that's to be watched closely. I don't know how you are in auto parts business right now, and what do I do next? Or auto business, what do I do next? You know, the advertisements on auto companies now, oh, tariff-free. That's now a selling point. That's what we have come to. Tariff-free, ladies and gentlemen. So I hate having to bring it up. I hope to get to the point where we don't have to bring it up, but they're still yapping away about it. They really are. Let's hope cooler heads prevail. Growth leaders, I mentioned a few already, acting just fine. And again, and this is of importance, just not seeing anything breaking down right this second. We'll start seeing some soon. But just remember, back in December and January, before the market topped, we were telling you about all kinds of things that were breaking down and how bad the advanced declines were and how many things had topped out. And guess what? The market followed. So what you need to know is until we start to see a lot of breakdowns, I think we're okay. Notice we did not say off to the races, but I think we're okay. And of course, we're here 5 days a week. If anything changes, we'll let you know. Wingstop, I just want to let you know it's up $19 today. Do you know that stock went from $433 down to $204, bottomed right around the tariff thing? It's gone from $204 to 365 cents. Dang, I've never been to Wingstop. I may have to go check it out one time. I checked out the Kava. Not bad. Not bad. All right, up next. What else on the markets? And what else going on? I'm Gary. This is the one and only Investor's Edge. Da-da, da-da-da-da. All right, let me bring something else up. Do you know what I get a lot of now? Fraudulent texts. Don't ever click on them. And they're kind of stupid people. I'm getting fraudulent texts from banks that I don't even have an account with. And I'll get a text about my account at a bank that I don't even have an account. that there was some sort of hack and click on here. You guys are smart about that, right? Don't click on anything via email or text. Don't click. Sometimes what they do, they'll get a hold of your computer and they'll get in there. They're pretty damn good at it. And when you get calls, and I've gotten them, my favorite one was that I won the Mega Millions. The guy calls me. He sounded like he was from Jamaica. I'm pretty sure that's where probably the call was from. And he said, I won $10 million. All I had to do was send $5,000 via Western Union, I believe it was, down to somebody in Boca Raton, Florida. And I get my $10 million. And I said, I got a better idea. I'm going to give you $100,000. Not 5. 100,000. Send me the 10 million, or just take 100,000 out of it for yourself. Oh, we can't do that. Anyway, just be careful. Just be careful. If you're in church or temple and somebody says, I'm buying cigarettes in Massachusetts and selling them in California, and I make 100% on my money, give me 10 grand. It's a scam. I buy food in Massachusetts, I sell it in California, make 70%. Come on in, I need this amount. It's a scam. We just want you to remember that. Why do I bring this up? Because whenever I read something in a newspaper or online about somebody who just got ripped off for $500,000, I figure, just tell you about it. And you know what a big one is now? The lonely woman scam and the lonely man scam. Seriously. Men that are 50 and 60, not married or married, are getting involved online with people that are in Turkey or wherever, and they're actually sending hundreds of thousands of dollars because they were told they were in love with them. And it's happening to women. It's amazing to me how, can I just say, stupid people are? Oh, I'm going to send a few $100,000 to somebody in another country somewhere that I've never met, and probably it's a fake picture. And they love me to death, even though they never met me. That's going on now. By the way, that's the one I read about. A woman sent $350,000 to supposedly a man. It was Turkey. So just watch yourself. It's amazing I even have to bring this stuff up. It really is. And just remember, the bigger the number, the farther and faster you run away. Oh, you give me $100,000, I'm going to get you back $1 million. I have news for you. If I had some sort of deal that I can turn 100,000 into $1 million, I would not ask for your money. Why would I let you in on it? I'm not that nice. Catching the drift? And they're very good using religion. So they do it at church, in temples, places like that. And let me just tell you, they're really good. These con artists are really good at it. So be watching yourself. Next, speaking of watching yourself, so the nuclear thing is now had big talk. The quantum computing thing is now being talked about again. Forget the fact that the stocks went crazy to the upside back in December, January, and dropped 80%. They're back getting hot again, even though most of the companies have no sales. Let us repeat one of the rules of the road in the stock market. Companies that have no sales eventually, ultimately, will go back to where they came from if nothing changes, meaning they stick with the no sales. And I'll tell you one of the more amazing facts. Some of these companies have been on the exchanges for 10, 15, 20 years and still have no sales. And every time it bubbles up, people still buy it up. And every time they buy it up, it always goes back to where it came from, but they still go after it again. So, what's the other rule of the road? If you can catch these things early, you can make some very good coin. We're not arguing that point. But the part of the rule of the road of the other side is don't ever be the last one in. And we have done this dozens of times with you throughout the years. Dozens. Of stocks that went from 2 to 100 and back to 2. So, and I'm just looking at a couple right in front of me right now. And you never know how they start up, why they start up. I'm looking at a no sales company that just went from 60 cents to $52 in 7-8 weeks. It's back down to 16 in 5 days. And guess where it's going to? So this is Watch Yourself Wednesday from your handsome and buffed host. Because man, oh man, there's a lot of money to lose in the stock market. A lot. If you're not careful. News of the day. California. Just want to let you know that they got $16 billion in federal money for high-speed rail. Just want to let you know that's 17 years of $16 billion, and they have not laid any track yet. Just want to let you know that guy's going to be running for president in 2028. Just thought I'd bring that up to you. Why? Why? We need to get some people in D.C. that really give a crap about you. Just letting you know. In the news, in horrific news, President Trump is agreeing with Elizabeth Warren on getting rid of the debt limit. So it's not good enough that we're $37 trillion of debt, running $2 trillion yearly deficits, more than $1 trillion of our tax dollars going towards interest each year. Let's just get rid of the debt limit. And just so you know what the debt limit is, it's a debt ceiling that politicians used to fight over. No, we're not raising the debt ceiling. It's too much. Now they want to get rid of the debt ceiling. Why? It's going to hurt us economically. Gary says, you know what's hurting us economically? Keep raising the debt ceiling. So now you have President Trump, who is no conservative, no fiscal conservative this guy is, agreeing with Elizabeth Warren. Yay. Up next, news of the day. I'm Gary. This is the one and only Investor's Edge. Da-da-da. And when I talk about the president, Don't be emailing me and say I have Trump derangement syndrome. We love a bunch of things that he's done. We just think it's horror show what he's been doing on tariffs, and now this, what he's calling the big beautiful bill. We call it the too big, not so beautiful bill, ladies and gentlemen. And I even watched Newt Gingrich on TV today, the man who did the contract with America on Clinton about deficits and stuff, in the tank. In the tank. Oh, it's politics. No, it ain't. This is thievery from both Republicans and Democrats. They're marketing it to you like it's a has to be, it's the best thing. It sucks. We were never supposed to have deficits, ladies and gentlemen. We were never supposed to have deficits. And the people that oppose are like excommunicated. Rand Paul, let me read something. He was interviewed and he said, if the bill were solely about making the 2017 tax cuts permanent, I wouldn't be a yes, I'd be a hell yes. Unfortunately, that's not the reality with this bill and includes get this. Remember, President Trump and all the Republicans for 4 years ripping the stuffings out of Joe Biden and his nauseating debt and deficits and spending. This bill includes the largest increase of debt ceiling ever, and will have the United States borrowing, are you listening? $5 trillion in the next 2 years. What have we said to you? It really started badly with Bush. Obama took the championship belt from Bush. Trump took the championship belt from Obama on debt and deficits. Biden took the championship belt from Trump and supersized it. And Trump for 4 years ripping Biden with the rest of the Republicans, and what does he do? He will break all track records just in the next 2 years. $2.5 trillion deficits. And I understand the MAGA crowd. You love the guy. You love him. That's great. We love a bunch of things that he's done. We think he is saving lives on the border. But this is insanity. And somewhere along the line, you've got to recognize that you can love, but if some of the policies suck, you need to take a stand. This is highway robbery on you, the taxpayer. Highway robbery. So we thank Elon Musk because he is out in droves right now. He is ripping the stuffings off of this bill. And he's right. Right as rain. We had this wonderful opportunity to right the wrongs, to roll back the supersizing by Joe Biden. And you know what they're doing? They're double supersizing. So he puts out a tweet, call your senator, call your congressman, bankrupting America is not okay, kill the bill. I'm right with him. 100%. 100%. I'm putting up a chart at my website of the national debt going back 30, 40 years. It's a moonshot. And I want you to remember, there was never supposed to be any. It always used to be spend what you get. Unless you got to go to war and you need to do something about that. And of course, you know Elon Musk is in the right. You know why? Because he's getting blasted. He's getting blasted. We'll keep covering this because there's got to be an end. We can't keep this up. And you have been conned by the Republican Party. One big, gigantic con job. And they're doing it daily. They're on TV telling you, oh, growth will take care of it. My arse. Remember, it's about the spending. Growth, terrific. But in the past 10 years, our revenues to them have gone up 60%. Their spending has gone up 95%. We can't continue this trajectory. Elon Musk is also endorsing a proposal to bar all sitting members of Congress from re-election if the deficit exceeds 3% of U.S. GDP. Well done. I'm with that. Maybe change that to 2%. I gather you know where I stand. Enough's enough. Good to see. At least he's got a loud mouth. He's now going to get it. He was getting it for trying to cut, and now he's getting it to go after the people that were telling him to cut. Oh, it's going to be a fun next few weeks. That all said, you have a great evening. Drive carefully. Market's still acting okay. And when you get home, do like we do. Make sure you hug your family. Make sure you hug your children. They will feel better. You'll feel better. I promise. Stay well. Be well. Thanks for joining. Good night.